Sister wives. Will Meri or Janelle Brown change their last names? That might be a bad idea. With so much change happening for the Brown family on Sister Wives, the idea of Meri Brown and Janelle Brown changing their names after their divorces from Kody Brown isn't completely out of left field. Meri and Janelle have moved on from their lives with Kody, with both leading separate lives miles away from Kody and his remaining wife, Robyn Brown. Both have seemingly adjusted to post-polygamy life, as has Kody's third wife, Cristin Brown Woolley, who left him in 2021 and got remarried to David Woolley in 2023. It's normal for a person to revert back to their maiden name after a marriage ends. In the case of sister wives, it's slightly more complicated, since there is so much history and so many children involved. It's also complicated because of the legal marriage aspect. Kody married Meri legally in 1990, but they divorced in 2014 so Kody could legally marry Robyn and adopt her 3 children from a previous marriage. Kody and Meri, theoretically, remained spiritually married after their legal divorce. Janelle and Cristin were never legally married, yet they both took the Brown surname. Complicated, right? After Cristin left Kody, a domino effect of wives leaving ensued. Meri, Cristin, and Janelle felt trapped in their marriages to Kody, who seemed to favor Robyn. The idea of leaving didn't occur to them, however, since it's unusual in a polygamous family and the family had a long history. Many factors contributed to the demise of Kody's marriages, including the pandemic. Kody probably didn't see all the divorces coming, but once Cristin left, Meri and Janelle soon followed. Cristin blazed the trail for Meri and Janelle to leave Kody and pursue their own happiness. Meri moved to Parowan, Utah, to run her bed and breakfast, Lizzie's Heritage Inn. Janelle moved to North Carolina and bought a plot of land with her daughter, Madison Brush. The two are in the process of opening Tata Farms. The final tie to Kody was recently resolved, as the family's plot of land they purchased in 2018, Coyote Pass, was finally sold and the profits were distributed fairly to Meri and Janelle. Kody had dragged his heels on doing anything with Coyote Pass, which was causing tension among the former wives, who simply wanted to cut all ties with Kody and move forward. Now that the sale is done and Janelle and Meri have gotten their money, there really aren't any ties between them and Kody. People reported that Meri, whose maiden name is Barber, has no plans to change her last name. On an episode of Sister Wives that aired in 2024, Meri joked about taking on her great-great-grandmother's maiden name, Davenport, but ultimately, she's sticking with Brown for now. She's stated that she'll change her name if she ever remarries. As for Janelle, she and Cristin appeared on a podcast called Rogue Energy in early 2025, and the subject of changing their last names came up. As Cristin explained how hard it is to change your name, Janelle said she plans on staying a Brown because her children are Browns. Janelle also said she has no plans to remarry, so she'll stay a Brown forever. Meri and Janelle both became famous with the Brown last name. For a long time, the name was a huge part of their identities. It united them within the family unit, and it gave a name to all the children. For what it's worth, Cristin still uses Brown in her name on Instagram, identifying herself as Cristin Brown Woolley. It's unclear if this is her legal name or just the name she uses on social media, but clearly, Cristin's been advised to keep Brown. It helps identify her, and it's also a way to connect her to her kids. Cristin, Meri, Janelle, and even Kody and Robyn are most commonly known as having the Brown last name. Even though Cristin has changed her name, she's still most commonly known as Cristin Brown. The same goes for the Brown kids who've gotten married. They might have new names legally, but they'll always be Browns in many people's eyes. If they're looking at their careers beyond the show, they might have projects and opportunities that come up because of their connection to Sister Wives and the Brown family. So it might make more sense to keep Brown in their name somewhere, even if it's in the middle, so that audiences can easily identify them. If they remove the symbolism from the name and recognize that they are Browns in name only, it might be best for them to keep it. For years, Sister Wives viewers have watched Meri and Janelle Brown navigate the complexities of polygamy, motherhood, heartbreak, and ultimately independence. Now that both women are officially separated from Kody Brown, the spiritual patriarch whose crumbling relationships had defined the TLC series for over a decade, the question on some fans' minds is this: will Meri or Janelle change their last names? At first glance, it might seem like a natural next step in reclaiming their identities. After all, Meri and Janelle are no longer bound to the Brown family by love, marriage, or even proximity. But as empowering as a name change might feel, the decision isn't as simple as trading one last name for another. In fact, shedding the Brown could cause more complications than it solves, both emotionally and practically. Meri Brown, ready to reinvent, but at what cost? Meri Brown has been reinventing herself publicly for years. From her solo business ventures like Lularo to her popular B&B, Lizzie's Heritage Inn in Utah, Meri has stepped into a new era of self-empowerment. Following her quiet but firm separation from Cody, she's made it clear through social media posts and reunion interviews that she's no longer waiting in the wings of his polygamous world. Fans have cheered her on as she reclaims her narrative, and a name change might feel like the final symbolic gesture to mark her freedom. But here's the twist. Meri's name isn't just hers anymore. Meri Brown is a brand. It's who viewers search for online. It's what customers recognize when they book a stay at her B&B or follow her on Instagram. If Meri were to revert to her maiden name, Barber, or choose a completely new surname altogether, she'd risk diluting the very identity she's spent years building in the public eye. It could confuse followers, affect search engine results, and even cause legal headaches with trademarks or business registrations. In the world of personal branding, a name is currency, and Meri Brown still holds value. Janelle Brown, strong, centered, and still a mother. Then there's Janelle, the no-nonsense, fiercely grounded mom of 6 who's long been viewed as the most practical of Cody's former wives. Janelle's departure from the plural marriage was less about drama and more about survival. She simply wasn't being emotionally fulfilled, and like Meri, she chose herself over the constant struggle for Cody's attention. So, would Janelle ditch the Brown now that she's no longer tied to Cody? It's possible, but it might not sit well with the family dynamics she still holds dear. Janelle has made it clear she remains close with Cristin and still shares a deep bond with her children, who all bear the Brown surname. From Logan to Savannah, those ties aren't just sentimental, they're deeply rooted in identity. Changing her last name might create an unintended divide. It could spark questions from her adult children or even make her feel disconnected from the large, messy, loyal family she helped build. And like Meri, Janelle has also grown a substantial public following under the Brown name. Her health journey, Plexus partnership, and Instagram following all align with the persona of Janelle Brown, the strong, capable matriarch who quietly walked away from a toxic relationship while never abandoning her values. The emotional baggage of the Brown name. Still, it's hard to deny that Brown carries emotional baggage. For Meri, it might remind her of being consistently rejected and emotionally neglected. For Janelle, it could bring back memories of fighting to be heard in a family structure that rarely offered her center stage. Cristin, notably, has kept the Brown name for now, even after marrying her new husband, David Woolley. And her decision could be telling. Maybe it's not about clinging to the past but owning the story. By staying a Brown, these women aren't endorsing Cody's behavior. They're acknowledging their history and rewriting it on their terms. What would a name change actually mean? Changing your name might seem like a clean slate, but it often creates more questions than answers. Do you go back to your maiden name, which might feel outdated or disconnected after decades? Do you invent a new name, opening yourself to scrutiny? Or do you hyphenate, blend, or adopt a symbolic surname? In a polygamous family, where identities have been both shared and compartmentalized, the last name question becomes even more complex. Would a name change feel like erasing the years of struggle, growth, and perseverance? Or would it feel like finally stepping into the light? And let's be honest, if either Meri or Janelle dropped the Brown name, some fans might take it as a direct shot at Cody, sparking tabloid rumors, Instagram speculation, and even internal family tensions. The ripple effect could be exhausting.